Hi,
Okay.
Mom.
Okay. So citizen to L1 attend an event. L1, L4 continuously attend events to perform well and have basic knowledge of the group and how it works. Read up on some documents, etc. Basically, standard promotions for L1, L4 because low ranks don't need to be too much uh, maintained. So that one's okay. Then from L4 to M1, we would do like a checklist. So this checklist would basically be like, okay, okay, Liam, Liam, if you guys need to talk, make sure to mute yourself, please. All right, all right. Like if you need to talk outside the call. All right. I'm not doing that. I'm on the boat, but let me just.
Oh gosh.
There we go. All right, L4 to M1, passing a checklist. So basically, the checklist is like when you go to an event. So let's say I'm an L4, I'm going to a training. Um, I was thinking of a process where the L4 could like alert the host that he slash she is about to like
Fail.
no, that he or she is about to do what he wants to do to pass the checklist. Like for example,
Complete the thing.
let me find the checklist real quick. It'd be a lot easier to just grab that. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. All right, there we go. I found that. Let me just post that. So
Like,
that would be like the checklist guideline. Um, this would be examples of checklist stuff. Let me grab that. There we go. So basically, if a host sees an L4 attending a defense training, whatever it be, the host could send out a message to all the present L4s saying, for all the L4s you wish to be promoted to M1, then you must demonstrate your checklist requirements at this event for me to see, or the L4 just has to demonstrate what they know based on watching a promotion guide or video, because like the host doesn't have to make a message saying that all L4s have to try. Uh, the host just needs to see that you're trying, basically. And then the host could also say that, but if he she wishes to, basically the L4 will have to take responsibility of being promoted on their own time at any event. So they have to make sure they have a uniform, use proper grammar, demonstrate some sort of leadership capability like helping members, visitors, whatever questions they may have, showing a bit of knowledge about the lore if necessary, read up on some guides in the group and be able to answer basic questions like, "Hey, what is one of the rules of the Universal Decree?" or uh, "What do you do if someone is trying to argue with someone else at a training?" or something like that. And then shit like basic shit for an L4 to know. And I was figuring maybe a checklist for them to get promoted. My only problem is that how tedious it could be, but at the same time I figured if an L4 attends an event and if the host thinks that they've passed the checklist by like reviewing the checklist by looking at the L4, and if they think that they've passed that, they could promote that based on that checklist. L1 to L3 or L1 to L4, like L1 to L2 to L3 to L4, that's all based on just standard promotion. Like just do good and you're good. L4 to M1 is like you actually have to like try and make sure the host approves of the checklist, goes through what you've done, and sees if you're applicable to be promoted to M1. And then I figured, okay, that might be like a little thing to add in there just for pizzazz to see how it works. And then from M1 to M3, this part was very tricky for us to figure out. We were thinking of all types of different things, but then I settled on trying basically a slower and tedious version of L4 to L1 to L4. But we'd have more trust in our HRs with this. But at this point, I think we can, because I think we can have more trust in our HRs. However, don't jump to conclusions yet, because watch what I'm gonna say for M3 to M4. So for M3 to M4, there's a lot I wanted to add in, but Sanity made some good points about it. But first, I'll say what I wanted to do. So M3 to M4, case studies. It's like a good paragraph to a page. Basically, you can choose to write about something already in the lore and or expand on it if you want, or create your own OC slash planet lore, and I have documents ready for you to look at for those for your case study. Basically, you're writing like a short document or a short paragraph about a topic that you want to talk about in the group, and then you submit that case study to an HR to approve of. Then you get voted approval from SNV, and then you get an oath to become an M4. That's all for just becoming an M4. And for adding on to the case, I wanted to include a set of questions as well. Like, not a test, but like just a question to self evaluate the person. So, it won't be a test. It's not graded. It will just show the HR reading their response that they know what the fuck they're doing. Half the questions will be about the group. The other half reviewing themselves as a person, like being honest about their strengths, weaknesses, what they're afraid of most as being in HR, etc. That's one thing. Another step I wanted to add on to M3 to M4 is enforcing the Sorodine core, which is already a thing that people keep forgetting about. Like, a lot of our current M4s don't even need the core, but the core is there for us, for those who actually need it. I just thought maybe we could like enforce it more, because like if we added those like questions, like self-evaluation questions, and people are honest about what they're afraid of and what their weaknesses are, we could like put them into the core and help them with those like weaknesses, because we'd actually know what their weaknesses are if they're admitting to it. But if they're not admitting to it, it's going to be a much more tedious process for us to work with, and that would be on their fault, not ours. And then let's see, yeah. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
That was not a question. That's you choking on dick, Elder.
I have no question.
Exactly.
You have no. All right, no questions. All right.
Choke on you, Dick Leo.
Any suggestions
For what?
for anything that I've said? It's all. I posted everything that I just talked about in Reform Talks. Like, it's just a huge like list of stuff that I copy pasted from the Sidarian chat. It's not everything
Dang,
though.
that's a lot.
Well, yeah, we're trying to figure out a perfect promotion system without using databases, because databases require too much maintenance, and it's just, I don't like it. I just don't like database. I don't like databases. I don't like points. I don't like desensitizing the value of promotions. Like, I've been doing this for like years. I've tried every system, and I've found that I've loved the standard way of doing promotions more than I do desensitizing promotions and making it just a grind. I just like It's like the same thing with simulator games. You're not actually training, you're just mass clicking until you get enough points to level up. Same exact shit.
Like, pay to get good stuff.
Yeah, you basically either like you're just grinding just to get points. It's not even like valuable. It's just you're just doing these just to get points so you can get a promotion. You're not actually focused on the group. You're not focused on getting the value of promotion. You're more focused on uh, just earning points. You just want more points. It doesn't create that connection I want between it doesn't create that connection that I want between you and the group, because I'm all about creating that connection, and I don't see that between a point system. And I've just noticed that within all the other groups that I've checked in that use point systems, like they all just go by that basic grind session. Do as many events as you can. Go to as many of them as you can. Keep doing as many as you can. Clearly, that's not going to work, because not a lot of people like trainings for any group in that matter. Not everyone likes to go to trainings, and that could go for any group, because I've been to those kind of trainings. For example, I've seen when we warred Veloxic Empire, they still had that point system, and it sucked for them because they have way too much grind, and you have TNI. TNI, I'm not a fan of their system. I mean, it's working for them just a little bit because they incorporated it into their game, but that's not even a group thing though. Now they what they did was they attached their point system to a game, and you can earn points by just patrolling or something like that, which doesn't which devalues which very much devalues the sense of promotions, which I don't like. I want promotions to be like more valuable and more like in
Like hard
touch.
working.
Yes, I don't
Like,
want I don't want it to be a grind session. It's just not how I want to do things.
ah,
Like, I don't like how any other group does point systems. I'm like point systems. Like they can brag about whatever tech they want for the database. Like, I have like 3 different databases that I don't even use, and they're far better than anyone else's. and I don't want to use them because I don't like it. I don't like point
Sure.
system. I mean, it's true. You have no idea how much tech I'm sitting on right now. Like I'm sitting
I
on
just
like
sit on it.
I'm sitting on all piles of just piles on piles of tech. Anyways, uh, back on topic. Okay, can y'all not talk about TNI and VE and whatnot in the reform talks? We get
Okay.
we get
TNI is only good because they're a stupid city, honestly. Like, otherwise they'd suck.
I think they're basically capitalizing off of the border concept, but they're doing it in a way where it's like it it makes you want to join the group, unlike other borders where it's just like you go in, you get shot right off the bat.
Yeah, usually.
TNI is at least doing something correct, which is promoting the fact that you should join their group to get all this shit, but whatever. We're not here to talk about them. Anyways, so yeah, I don't want to do point promotions. I have this in mind. So Sanity proposed that we don't do the case study, which is the paragraph stuff for M3 to M4, but she's all for the questions because questions will give us a better insight on what the M4 is expecting or the future M4 is expecting. Like, what are they afraid of as they become an M4? What do they want to practice the most? What is their strength and what is their weakness? So I figured, okay, maybe we can do something else for M3 to M4. But uh, I'm all because like I figured out what I want to do for Citizen to L1. I figured out what I want to do for L1 to L4. I figured out what I want to do for M3 to M4 and M4 to H1. The only problem I have right now is M1 to M3. And for M1 to M3, we came up with different solutions. M1 to M3, I had ideas where M1 to M3 could be point based, but then I'm like, nah, I don't think that would be a good idea. Then I did M1 to M3 could be like checklist based, and I figured no, that would be too tedious and way too much backtracking because then you have to keep track of like hundreds of people. Uh, M1 to M3 could be like, let's see, uh, off the top of my head, what was it? Oh yeah, it would be based on different skills or something. But then I figured, no, that's what the core is for. We don't M1 to M3 should act like a as a preparation for M4. It shouldn't act like a another set of ranks. It should be like preparing you. So I figured, okay, what if I just made it a harder version of L1 to L4, and by the time they reach M3, if they don't pass, because I'm gonna have a checklist. I'm gonna have a checklist for M3. If you're an M3 and you want to become an M4, you're gonna go through a very like elaborate checklist, and if you pass that checklist, you'll become M4. Like, and if you don't pass that checklist, you're gonna be probably demoted back a rank or two before you master that, which was what I was thinking. Like, even if you get promoted fast, like let's say that you get promoted fast. Okay, so what if you do? All right, once you reach M3, if you suck, you suck. You're gonna be demoted back, like, and then you're gonna learn again. Like, it has to be a trial and error. You have to be facing some sort of consequence for not knowing what you need to know. If you're going through the ranks really fast and you're not learning anything, then obviously you're not going to go any you're not going to go any further than M3. So that's what I thought of. Like, okay, I know a way to tackle that. Okay, if you get promoted too fast problem, it's simply a checklist. To cease it, if they pass that checklist, then there's no reason to demote them. If they don't pass it, then there is a reason to demote them. And you can place them back to M1, M2, whatever it may be, depending on how badly they don't pass that checklist. Like, let's say they don't have any grammar, they don't have any leadership capability, they don't even know what the hell the commands are, they don't know how to fight, they don't know how to treat people with respect. Okay, place them back to like L3 or L2. And if they're like an M3, they don't know how to use grammar and they don't know how to, let's say, any demonstrate any leadership capabilities or help people, then we'll just place them back to like M1 to M2. So then I was figuring, okay, so it'd be a checklist. M3 is like the border. It's like a border checklist point. If you once you reach M3, you gotta pass it. If you don't, you're gonna be placed back. That's what I was thinking. What do you think?
That seems a good idea.
it utilizes M1 to M3 as just a harder version of L1, L4, but at the same time it creates like an incentive for you to actually learn something. Because by the time you reach M3, you either know it or you don't. Like it's your responsibility to know what you got to do. We have all the guides, all the videos, everything up. Literally everything. I have everything in a video. I have everything in documents. If you don't look at them, then what the fuck's the point? Like then that's not my fault. We've done all we could. Like we provided the video. I'm gonna be providing more videos anyways, but like we already have videos on how to host, how to do this, like general guide for the group, how to do the Discord, some commands to use. If you don't know, if you can't even watch that, then how do I expect you to become a proper HR? If you can't even like waste like 10 minutes of your time or even less to like just watch a video. Like, how do I expect you to do a paragraph of information? Or, like, let's say I want you to do, like, a codex or something. How am I supposed to expect you to do that if you can't even watch a video? You know, you get my point. Basically, checklist.
Man, I mean, we need to filter some of these HRs, by the way, the inactive ones.
Huh?
The M4s and all that. Like, we need to filter some of these HRs because some of them just inactive as shit.
Yeah, Sandy's doing that, I believe. It's in the
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, Sandy's managing the spreadsheet with that. Right now, I'm focused on just a few things: my game, the promotion system, and figuring out a proper training format. And I figured, okay, also L1, L4 as a point system. No, I don't think that's gonna confuse a lot
I
of.
didn't think.
I don't think that would work. Both that would confuse a lot of people, and I just don't want to utilize the point system anymore. Like I have the databases. I have like three, but I don't want to use them. I don't want to use that. I don't want to use points. Like I'm done using points. I just don't like it. That's just how I feel about it. I don't. I want. I love the way old super clans did it, but you have to modify it slightly so that it fits us. And yeah, M1 to M3 remains as a tougher version of L1 to L4, and then M3 is like the checkpoint for all the ranks. M4 is basically like you just did all this shit, you passed all this, you answered the questions, and now we're gonna and the questions, yeah, the questions will also help us determine whether or not you're gonna need to go to the Sordine core. If you're honest with yourself and you're honest with us, then you will either be placed in the Sordine core or not. However, if you lie in your questionnaire, like if you lie about it, like lie about your strengths and weaknesses, and we see that you're like failing to do this, failing to do that, you're gonna be punished for that. I'm just saying, like I'm just thinking we need a system where it helps utilize the Sordine core more. It helps bring in the old concept of super clan structures while still maintaining a modified version in 2018 without using the stupid maintenance of databases and points and the desensitization of promotions. What if we do a rank criteria to let HRs know what we expect? Well, I've thought about that. I've thought about the rank criteria. I think that's a good suggestion. But if you're gonna do rank criteria, because Yusuf, remember when we were talking about promotions and I showed you the Jedi Order Codex? Remember? Yeah, the Jedi Order Codex had like literally a billion different criteria for each rank that they need to follow. But their criteria is like very strict that they follow by, and it's like it's a very well thought out process. I've thought about doing something like that, but I figured I figured just doing it for L4 and M3 criteria, and then M1 to M2 and the other ranks wouldn't have criteria, but it would have expectations.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
They would have expectations from them. Like we already have all those paragraphs written about each rank in the dev forum post and the guide, the regular guide, not the new members guide. The regular guide has a bunch of like description of each rank and what they should be able to do. Basically, they should be able to do that. If they can't do that, then what the hell are they doing at that rank? They're basically being promoted too fast. I don't think being promoted too fast is a huge problem. That could be easily fixed by just being placed at the rank that you deserve to be placed at. Like when we had the old promotion system, a lot of people thought it was a huge problem with being promoted too fast. Yeah, it was a huge problem, but it could also be really easily solved by either creating a checklist point, border checklist, or just demoting them. A click of a button. It's not that hard. Yeah, and then I took into account. I actually wrote out each system, each promotion system, in a document, and I started analyzing their pros and cons. And database obviously had its pros. It was easy to keep track of in the most sense, but it was very hard to maintain and keep funded, as well as it desensitized promotions, and it made it grind. It didn't really value the group structure. It just valued you attending as many events as you can without actually putting the effort in. But regular promotions, like standard promotions, the only con is being promoted too fast, if that. Making it possible for possible favoritism, which could also be very easily dealt with. Uh, However, pros could be that it leaves room. It leaves room for pretty much anything to be done with it, because it could be easily managed, easily modified. Like I just modified it right now, and I posted all of that in the Reform Talks channel. Let's see. Maybe what the HRs expect from ours, what the credits from like displaying proper grammar skill. Yeah, what Purple said. Basically, L4 to M1, like, once you pass that criteria, you're expected to follow that criteria for the rest of those ranks. That's basically what it is. Purple. If that's what you're trying to get at, because L4 to M1 is basically the checklist. From L4 to M1, basically you're going from, like, non-serious to serious, in a sense. You're going to be wearing the uniform, you're going to be using grammar, you're going to be trying to be a leader, basically, trying to, like, help people out, to follow the guides, know what you're doing, watch the video guides before you become an M3, blah, 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 blah. You need to know all this shit before you become an M1, basically. Yeah, and do it correctly. And do it correctly. Like, we can't just easily promote people, like, not half-assed, like, yeah, like, some HRs. That's my problem. Like, I'm gonna have a task. I'm gonna have a task for the S&V departments that specifically... Really, Elder? Really?
What the frick?
It sounded like you're trying to duct tape a victim of assault.
Oh
Sorry,
god.
I was trying to wrap the condom off my cock and it wouldn't get off, so. It's good
I
though.
saw
I'm
this
good.
boat into half.
Elder, activity is not a problem, trust me. Trust me, that's not the problem here, right? Everything else just needs to be figured out before I actually fix activity. Activity, I could fix in like a easy like snap of a finger. I say that people are like, all right, then do it. I'm like, no, everything comes at a specific time. Everything comes when I want it to work out just fine. Everything
So you're
has
like backwards Thanos?
yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Cool.
It's like everything perfectly balanced as all things should be in this sense. All right, well, we're going back to what Wolf was saying. Yeah, do it correctly. What I'm gonna do is have a task where I'm gonna have specific HRs watching the L3, not the L3, the L4 to M1 and M1 to M2 ranks, and they're gonna watch the M3 to M4 ranks as well. I'm gonna have specific HRs doing that, because in the future we're gonna have a lot of HRs. So I'm gonna need a lot of people doing a lot of things. So we're gonna have people actually watching the ranks and keeping track of who's getting promoted, who isn't. And if some reason an HR thinks that someone shouldn't have been promoted, they could make their case. And the Sidarian channel, obviously there's gonna be a ton of people in those ranks, but we're gonna have a ton of HRs in the future as well. Right now we only have around like I think 20 or so. Yeah, I'm going over certain HRs, watching over certain rigs right now because Wolf brought up the idea of Moon. We don't care about your gay spider. Just kidding. I love your gay spider. Yeah, this isn't dev
Even
talk. It does look like a pretty gay spider though. If you think about it, it's like a pink spider with 4 legs instead. But I like it though. Looks like a mutated sable. It looks like a blocky. No, you're missing the salt. You're missing the salt. It can't be blocky without the salt. Yeah, well, Elder, I get it. You guys don't have a lot of things to do right now because I kind of did
Yeah.
I kind of did everything for you guys.
Well, then make us do something, you faggot.
I
Jesus, we
know.
don't do anything.
I know. That's why I have all of you guys were helping me with the promotion system right now. I
That's not HC included. That's everyone included.
Hey, but we talked about it first before everyone got involved.
With the HRs, excuse me.
Also, think about it. I did the reason why we don't have a lot of like HCs doing a lot right now is because right now I'm just figuring out all the structure on my own because you know how picky I am with my own structure. I finished
Yeah, that's true.
I finalized the infrastructure, I finalized everything else, I finalized the documents. Now all that's left is adding on to it, and this is where the HCs come in. The HCs come in, they come in, they uh, they exercise what's being done in those structures. They do what's being said in those structures. They do the tasks associated with those structures. They do what they needed to do to finish those structures. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want HCs to not. I don't want HCs involved in the process of structure creation just yet. Only a specific few are involved, but not all of them. A lot of them are going to be focused on tasks related to
Excuse me.
what?
Well,
What
we
if
are
Roblox
depressing.
dies out?
What?
What if
No
Roblox dies
way.
out?
What if Roblox dies out? I mean, if it dies out, it dies out. What do you want?
If it does,
Then
So
you
you're
if
get
it
still
does,
to.
keeping the community or just disbanding it?
if it
Not.
dies, we'll take
I mean,
over.
if Roblox dies, we're still gonna have the Discord server.
So you're not disbanding it?
Not. No, not really. I'm not gonna disband it.
Oh, okay.
We're probably gonna find something else to do. But yeah, anyways, back on topic. HCs will be given. Can you not chew? Thank you. HCs will be given. I will lynch you by your left nut. All right, HCs will be given something to do. Like right now, I want HCs just all focused on just adding on to the idea of promotions. Like the only one that I've seen add on too much was San. San kept on criticizing the idea of having case studies. So maybe we don't have case studies, but we keep questions. Because said that it's not a necessity for having case studies because it's not a necessity to know a lot about the lore, but at the same time, it's a good thing to know about the lore.
Well, it could be like an extra credit thing if they wanted to do it.
Where would the extra credit go towards?
I fucking know. Maybe a higher chance promotion.
We're not promoting that. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
but people like Moon who suck your dick a lot. They might want to do it.
actually,
Feel
but
bad.
Wolf does make a good point. If you're in HR, you need to know at least something.
Yeah, that's
If you don't, then you're gonna look dumb. So I still think that maybe once a month or something, I could have an assignment for HRs to do, where they have to like at least write a paragraph, maybe two,
Low
up
class.
about something in the lore, so that they can continuously like keep them educated. Like, what do you think about that? Like, once a week or once every 2 weeks, we have HRs do like some sort of assignment where they have to whatchamacallit. How about monthly? Monthly. Uh, maybe. Because I'm trying to think, like, I want HRs more focused on lore too. Because if we're going towards a more lore focused game, like especially if I release the Tycoon, I release all my games. Like that's all gonna be lore based. Like you know that, right? It's have a ton of lore behind it. So if you don't even know basic lore, you're gonna be so out of the loop. But I think maybe like daily quotas, like answer this question, or maybe bi-weekly quotas of and like doing a paragraph. The lore is at the recruitment center, the temple, the all the guides, pretty much everything. Like, you can find it anywhere, really. It's in all of the games. Yeah, especially the recruitment center. Most of the general stuff is at the recruitment center. All of the mythology, the gods, and extra ores and planets are at the temple. Ontarian lore is at the temple. Yeah, I bleed lore basically.
Yes.
Yeah. I've never created like a single game just based on just creating I've never like created like a huge like hub of documents to just demonstrate all this lore, but at the same time like I don't want to do that because like people don't want to read just a bunch of documents. They want like some sort of incorporation to games. So I made it so it's easy for kids to also understand lore by playing our games.
Um, what if the people just don't care about lore?
If they don't care about lore, they don't have to in a sense, but I mean, if you really want to enjoy the experience in the group, then I mean, it's pretty fun to get involved in lore. I've never had someone who's like, "Oh, I hate your lore," unless they're like some sort of edge lord who's just
Unless you're blocky.
no, not blocky, not even blocky. Blocky, I think likes our lore. There was this one guy who was so pissed that I wouldn't let him work on our lore, that he basically like I wouldn't let him work with us on our lore because I do all of my lore on my own. I'm picky about that. I don't like people touching my lore. I like people when they create their own lore, but I don't like them touching my lore unless they know what they're doing. And then this guy decides that, oh, he's not gonna let me do to help him with his lore. I'm gonna go assault his members in the general chat. And then after that, he goes and assaults them. And after that, he sends an inappropriate picture to an underage HR. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, is that ISO?
Yep.
Blizzard
my,
is whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
Frostus.
Blizzard is.
Yeah, Blizzardus. That's the guy.
That
That's
fucktard.
that prick. Yep, him. I'm glad you guys remember that. That prick.
Yeah.
um,
And then I tried warring him and the pussy packed out. Alright, anyways.
He's like, my group is stronger than ever.
No,
Now it's like 2 people.
no, legit. He always boasted about how like Frostus is like super strong and like a lot better than us. I'm like, okay, fight us. And he's like, oh no, we're not ready. I'm like, we're not ready either. Fight us anyways. I don't like quit being a bitch and just put up the hands, fam.
Yeah, slap your dick on the table and see who wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you could do some representational walls or something like you do with your story in FS. Oh yeah, yeah, Wolf, that's right. I could do something like that. Oh yeah. Oh shit, Wolf, you gave me an idea. I could create stories.
Wolf is productive.
Wolf gave me the idea of visualizing stories through like what I did with Falling Star. Like, what if I created stories like that? That would be interesting.
Yes, let's.
I'm gonna make a note of that. I'm gonna make a note of that. I'm gonna pin his message. Thank you, Wolf. You're being productive. Good job.
Fuck yes. This is what HT2 is for. One productive message a year.
The channel topic, it's called Reform Talks because originally it was just, well, I mean, we're here to talk about reforms, but also to, because originally I posted a bunch of like, I copy pasted a bunch of stuff related to the promotion system that I wanted to read off of and read to people. Yeah, Celvestia is like 3-4 times bigger than Jupiter. Um, I haven't really looked into the science of that. I just kind of just went with the shits and giggles.
Look at what science. Look at
Yeah,
what science.
yeah, it's the universe. No, nothing ever makes sense. Frickin' Star Wars and Star Trek doesn't even make sense half the time.
Oh, I feel that test shit. Oh, sorry. Thought it was me.
Yeah, Celestia is massive. It's like 4 times bigger than Jupiter. So it's not as big as the sun, obviously. That isn't like the sun's like 250 Jupiters, I think.
Yeah, it's a
250.
bit big.
Will there be more Padawans? No, there will not be more
Yes.
Padawans.
The answer is yes.
There will not be more Padawans. We'll never do apprentice. Maybe actually I've considered apprenticeships, but I highly doubt it would work. I don't think anyone would take it seriously in this group. None of the HRs would take apprenticeship seriously. They'd just be if I was a master, I would just start quoting shit from the prequels. Be like,
Master slap me.
"It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground."
Leo would be my master. You can just slap me.
Yes,
Pop off.
yeah, technically you can have. No, I'm not saying you can't have apprentices. Like you can like apprentice people out like whenever you want, but I don't like have a structure for it. That's all on you. HRs can do what they want to teach people. Go ahead, you can do Padawans or shit like that. I don't care, as long as you teach them something. It's not in the structure, but you're more than welcome to do what you want to do to teach people. Purple. All the divisions are currently closed, and except for White Raven. Speaking of White Raven, even though White Raven's
You
done.
didn't even give out invitations, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I was about.
you
Can I?
said, oh yeah, I'm gonna hand them out.
I decided against it again, even though it's done. I decided against it because like I don't wanna release it even though if I'm not gonna use it yet.
I mean, why not? Just do it. Fuck it. Make people feel special. Put like 3 people in the group.
Wait, Purple. Which one did I misspell? Screenshot it and DM me it. I kind of did all of that lore when I was like super tired and like at night because I for some reason work really well at night in terms of like finishing shit. It sucks, but whatever. All right. Anyways, enough about the Jedi talk.
Luke Skywalker.
So yeah, that's the idea I had for promotions. Like, we're gonna do a quick recap. No, I'm stretching. There we go, stretching. I'm just in my boxers right now. It's very hot. Anyways, all right. Okay, can y'all like not talk about Star Wars? Thank you for.
The Clone Wars Star Wars.
I'm still waiting for the next Clone Wars season. All right, let me scroll
Fuck
up.
yes.
Let me.
God damn it, dude. Where are you in China?
His qualities in China. All right.
Let's call it. Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right, we're gonna go over the promotion system one more time, and I'm gonna ask if anyone has any problems with it, any suggestions. If not, I'm gonna finalize that, write a little document, put it out, and let people read it out and see what they think. And then if it's good, and there's no suggestions needed for it, then we could put it into effect.
Use of 4HC. Just like to put that in effect.
Huh?
Use of 4HC. I'd like to put that into effect.
No, I mean.
Where that HC at?
I'm saying I want to finalize the document. Like after, okay, so let me just go over it real quick. Let me do this one by one. All right. So, all right, everyone be quiet. So L1 to a citizen, or citizen to L1, attend an event. Simple. And then you can have the ability to talk on the group wall and whatnot. Then okay, what are you doing? You're like doing construction shit.
I'm just moving over. I have my mic on.
Jesus, it sounds like you're like building something with like wood.
Yeah, it's
Stop using flex tape.
That's a. It's
all right,
carbon,
L1.
dude. What is wrong with
L1 to L4 will be the standard promotions ranks. Like basically attend events, do really good, perform really well, get promoted. Done. Then L4 to M1, pass a checklist. You're basically going to attend any event you can. Doesn't matter if it's a defense or raid, and you're going to do as best as you can. Like, we're going to have to like tell the L4s like, hey, remember, when you're at an event, as an L4, you need to like try your hardest to get noticed, like to do really well. Then from M1 to M3, a slower and tedious version of L1 to L4, but basically we'll have a bit more of a trust bond between the HRs and the M ranks, and M3 will be used as the border checklist. Each M3 will be checked off to see if they're actually gonna be promoted to gonna go through all the cases and whatnot. Once they go through that checklist, and if they don't go to that checklist, they're gonna be demoted to whatever rank they're gonna be placed at. I'm gonna create that layout soon. So once they go through that checklist, then they're gonna do fill out some questions. They're gonna fill out some questions related to the group and related to themselves. They're gonna be honest about themselves. They're gonna list their strengths, their weaknesses, and what they're afraid of most as an HR. Like all of the things that they're afraid of as an HR. Then we're gonna have them. Well, first we're gonna look over the document, see that they didn't bullshit anything, and then from there, we're gonna have them be voted by SNV to see if they're gonna be voted in to become an M4. If they are, then they get to get the oath, and then they're M4. And that's without the case study. The case study is the paragraph thing, but I might use the case study for something else. All right. Any questions? Any concerns?
Nope.
Also, forgot one more thing to add. If they are afraid of things, if they fill out the questionnaire and they list all the things that they're afraid of, we have the Sorendyne Corps to help them. They'll be placed into Sorendyne Corps. They'll be placed in a specific rank while they're in M4. and we're gonna help them. It's the Sword Encore is to help the group itself is to help keep track of where everyone is, where all the people are in terms of ranks and whatnot. Anyways, so any questions, concerns? Any
Played Despacito.
No, I don't.
so no questions, no concerns about it.
I'm goosey.
All right, so M1 to M3, M1 to M3. I could pin it. I could pin it. But I'll say it again. M1 to M3. So you from L4 to M1, you pass through a checklist at events. You try your hardest at that event to get noticed, and then it will be and you go through a checklist that HR will look at for you to be promoted from L4 to M1. Then from M1 to M3, it's basically a slower and harder version of L1 to L4. But once you reach M3, you're going to be halted again and looked over by a checklist, another checklist. And if you don't pass that, you're going to be demoted based on how much shit you don't know. If you don't know a lot of shit, you're going to be placed at, for example, in the low ranks. If you don't know just a few things, you may be placed back at like M2 or M1 to like keep practicing. But if you pass the checklist, then you're going to go from M3 to M4, which is you're going to fill out a questionnaire about the group and about yourself. You're going to answer the questions in regards to what you're afraid of most in the group, about being in HR, your strengths, your weaknesses, all that good shit. Then you're going to be voted in by S&V. Then you're going to take your oath, and then you're going to be an M4. There. That's it. That's that in a nutshell. No Despacito. Bad.
Oh.
Wait, well,
All right. You got it, Wolf? All right. Any objections?
Yes, more Despacito.
No.
why?
So L4 to M1, it's gonna be a very basic checklist. Basically, I have the checklist. I have a basic form of the checklist. Let me go copy paste it again. Oh my god.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
How many bots are there?
Y'all know I'm recording, right?
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even. It's not even me that put that. Jesus. Rain.
See,
God. God damn. Rain, be quiet. We'll rip you in half. Big chunky slice of chicken. Yeah.
What? What? What?
What?
Yo, who's my sister?
Squeeze me?
What? Excuse me?
Squeeze me?
Excuse me?
Nani? Squeeze?
Daddy.
Alright, here. So for the checklist, actually, from L4 to M1, if you are at L4, okay, god damn it.
Why?
Stop it. Stop. Seriously. That's
Oh my
no
gosh.
Despacito. You can play Despacito after.
God damn
Oh
it, dude.
gosh.
Alright. As I was saying, from L4 to M1, is it possible to be demoted? If you honestly,
Oh, yeah.
if you honestly suck a lot, then yeah. Um, if
Yeah,
you
dude, Nessie,
like if you really are like not following, because like look at this checklist. Like here's a very basic checklist. Do you have the uniform? Yes. Do you have grammar? Yes. Do you demonstrate basic leadership? Yes. There you go. That's a basic checklist. We're gonna have a few more things onto that, but yeah, you'd have to be like, you'd have to be like very disrespectful
Like this.
when Moon first came in. Capabilities by ass. I didn't realize that.
Alright, I'd say putting in Despacito just for that. Your stupid ass fucking grammar, I swear to God.
Shut up.
Alright, let's fix this. Alright, go into general.
All right, but yeah,
Despacito.
shut up, Despacito.
God damn it, Leo.
We're not done yet. Damn it. All right.
Despacito. Despacito 4.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's the promotion system that I came up with in a nutshell. What does everyone think?
Nut.
It is so good.
It is
Beautiful.
it is so good.
That's Despacito.
Damn it!
Oh god.
Can you not for like 2 minutes? I'd have to see it in action to critique. Yeah, I'd want to see it in action as well. I want to see how it would work, but then at the same time, we would also need a little bit more
Who
HO.
moved me?
At this, otherwise it cool. Yeah, I think when we do put it in place, it would also give us the idea of what needs to be modified.
Yeah.
It would give us the chance to see what we need to modify and what we don't need to modify. But right now, I think it's pretty solid to try out.
My ear hurts. Oh dear.
That's because of the Despacito.
Alright, so that's a good 45 minutes of just talking about promotions. At least we figured something out.
Despacito now.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Hold on.
Why?
No. Hold on.
Fuck it. It's almost over, dude.
I know. Okay. 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 Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Shut up. Okay.
No. Okay, what?
Okay. No. Bad.
Demoted.
Okay. There's not much Lord Ontario. That's depressing. Actually, there's a lot. Did you go inside the temple?
That was a big hunky chunky wonk wonk.
I don't. Purple. Let me walk you into the temple. I think you missed a good chunk.
Better hold his hand.
Oh yeah, the new god. There's a new god that I didn't add into the temple, but it's like in the lore. It's Stella.
His name's Embresk.
It's Stella. Stella, the goddess of wisdom. She's featured as a medal, a Celestian medal. Waifu. Oh my
Embresk, god of foreheads.
Wolfu, please stop. Wolfu. We're gonna call you Wolfu instead of Waifu. Wolfu.
No, we'll beat you.
Purple. All of the god stuff is featured at the recruitment center inside the temple. The temple is like you have all of the god lore up posted in the back, like on the lower deck, and you have all of like the Celestian and Ontarian lore posted on the upper deck. I'm gonna walk you through it. Just let me finish this up. Okay, so tomorrow's meeting will probably be about trainings. It won't be that long, that one, because trainings, because I have a lot of fixes for trainings already. It's just most of those fixes are related to tech, like fixing up Soraya so that it's actually good. Because right now Soraya is kind of, and I want to combine Soraya and Legacy if ever possible. And I would throw in new guns and new sabers into Soraya and Legacy, which would make it a lot more interesting. A lot more game modes into Soraya. More free range stuff. Basically, trainings would be a lot more interesting if we incorporated a lot more stuff that need to be fixed. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Alright, we're done.
Wait. Everyone stay for just 1 sec. Very important announcement.
It's fucking Despacito.
No. It's different. Okay, it's gonna work. Okay. Yes. Okay, it's gonna work. Oh fuck, it's muted. Don't be muted. Wake up. Oh fuck. Play it. Why is it playing Johnny?
Why is everybody so silent?
It's not playing Johnny, Leo.
Is that what you're trying to play?
Yes. It won't work. No, wait, I got this. Play Johnny. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Choose 5. Wait. Don't leave. It's okay.
Oh
Okay,
gosh.
there we go. And then Dabbot, and then...
It's still server muted. What do you mean?
No, it's good.
Oh gosh, no.
Oh my god.
Why?
God damn it!
Thank you,
Johnny,
whoever
Johnny?
did it.
There we go.
No.
Alright.
Please, no.
Please stop.
Alright, I'm ending this video. I'm ending this
Ending
video.
on a good note.
I wanna die.